believe that we're not in a housing bubble at all. Um, we have some factors that I'm going to show you guys that are the reasons why we're not in a housing bubble, and there's some adverse things that I think may happen. So one thing is the world thinks that we're in a housing bubble. Actually, Google reported a few weeks ago that the last search for when is the housing market going to crash spiked up 2,400% in just 1 month. So people are asking the question, uh, when is the housing bubble going to happen and burst? So why don't I think that's going to happen? For these simple mathematical reasons, right? You've got demand remaining strong as home buyers are snatching listings quickly off the MLS. And it takes approximately 18 days for a home to go from listing to a contract in the current housing market. Um, Last year, you're looking at that was 29 days. So on average, these are on average because I'm seeing honestly a lot of stuff selling within 1 or 2 days, and even properties that are listed for maybe 5 or 6 or 7 days. And the only reason why the property is listed for 5 or 6 or 7 days is because the listing agent's deciding with their client, with their seller, hey, let's just wait. Let's give those people who may have to wait till the weekend, or maybe they have Tuesday off or Wednesday or whatever it may be. Let's give them an opportunity to come look at your house. Let's do it best and highest, and we'll go from there. So that is what I'm seeing. And at 18 days, you're about basically half a month's, just a little over half a month's worth of houses on the market. So this is not creating an inventory for housing, not a 45, a 60 day, a 90 day. That will change at some point. When is that going to happen? We don't know. At those points, I don't even know if some of those houses are even going to stay on the market for long enough as well, just because people will they'll sell on the news, right? The news is I can sell my house in a couple days, and if their real estate agent doesn't sell their house in 30 days, when the market slows down at some point in the future, they're probably just going to fire their agent, make it seem like it's their agent's fault. So one very interesting note that came out from Freddie Mac, from the vice president of chief economist at Freddie Mac, was the main driver of the housing market and the shortfall has been the long-term decline in construction of single-family homes. That decline has resulted in a decrease in the supply of entry-level single-family houses and starter homes. And why do we look at that? Because it's the overwhelming majority of the market. The overwhelming majority of housing is moderate to low-income housing. There are fewer people, just like you always say, the 1% or whatever it may be. There's fewer people who can afford the higher price, the $1 million plus properties, versus people who can afford the median house price or lower. There's a lot fewer people in that higher category. So we're always going to really look at the lower price category because they make up the bulk of the volume. So just kind of looking at some numbers here. When will the housing inventory grow again? And, right now we're looking at the second quarter, we're looking at an increase that the survey of economists feel like there's going to be a lot of people who are going to put their house on the market at this time in the second half of the year, which will start in about a month or two. Because right now we're in May of 2021, and as I'm seeing it, I do see more houses on the market. I am starting to see some houses that are not going in 5 or 6 days or less, but they're maybe going in 10 to 12 days. So I'm starting to see those. At the same time, the absolute beautiful diamond on the block, the most beautiful house on the block, that's still going immediately. But the other ones that, some people, they always say, I don't want to go into a house having to do much extra work. They're trying to put as minimal money out of their pocket. So those houses that may need just a little bit of work or may not have the most high-end design, those are taking a little bit of time, but still less than 2 weeks. So where are we going, right? So there was recently a survey on Realtor.com that showed that 1 in 10 homeowners plans to sell this year, with 63% of those looking to list in the next 6 months. Next 6 months is the second half of the year, just like we had just spoke about. So this just is encouraging to close. 2/3 of the sellers plan to sell their homes at prices of $350,000 or less, which will be a tremendous boost to the affordable housing market for first-time home buyers. I say all of this to say that, as I've said in the last few months, inventory is coming. These are homeowners. These are not also builders, developers who are also developing new subdivisions right now. They're getting ready to build. As we run through this kind of ugly stage of supply chain issues with prices in lumber and other materials, and plastics, all kinds of stuff, even glue. Right? I literally there are actually some companies that are changing like their radiant barrier on the ceiling on the attic because the glue that they need they cannot find right now. Paints are going up, all that kind of stuff is going up. But as the market opens back up and people get back to work in these jobs that are at close quarters where they had shut down these plants, as they open back up, we will be able to increase supply. Exactly when that number will change, we don't know. And the biggest reason why is we don't know how much people are going to produce. We don't know how many of these different places will then maybe shut back down. Maybe they have COVID issues. So those are in the horizon for everybody. But that is another reason why we are not in a bubble. We are simply on a demand and supply issue. I do think at a certain point we have an opportunity to stall, meaning the response from the market with the increase of prices is going to be rejection, because I do it every day as a real estate agent. I go to certain houses with clients, and there's a certain price where people look at it and say, no, I don't want to spend that money for that particular house. And that will start to happen as prices go up a little higher, as maybe there's a little bit more inventory on the market, so they have more to choose from. They're not feeling as desperate, like, oh, I have to get this particular house. But that's going to be some time. Um, and I'll talk about that in my next video when it comes to the forbearances and the moratoriums that are going on, because those will increase the supply in the market, and I will kind of put that together for you. So as always, Josiah Ford, Team Ford DFW Realtors, always trying to help you guys and make sure that we provide accurate home information. Give us a shout. Our information is in the description below to be able to contact us. We appreciate you guys watching our videos. Please be sure to like and subscribe for future videos. Thank you.